Hey guys, Joe from Extreme Terrain, and today I'm going to be reviewing and installing the MBRP P-Series single exhaust system with a side exit fitting all 16 and newer 3.5 Tacomas. Now this exhaust is going to be perfect for the Tacoma owner who's looking to improve the sound out of their 3.5 with, simply put, the most budget-friendly system on our website. As you guys just heard, this is going to be a mid-range loud kit, easily gets a 3 out of 5 on our Wake the Neighbor scale. It's enough to know it's an upgraded exhaust, but not enough to draw any unwanted attention to your Tacoma. This kit is manufactured out of 3-inch diameter mandrel bent 16 gauge steel, which then has an aluminized coating on top of it to protect it from any corrosion. Right in the middle, it features the perforated tube P-Series muffler, which not only looks good, but is going to add to the sound as well, as it is a straight through design. Those mandrel bends are a great addition to this kit as well, as that ensures during any bends through this kit that the walls of the tube stay smooth. Now that's going to contribute to the looks under the truck as well, but also contribute to how fast exhaust gases can escape through this exhaust, as you're not creating any unnecessary turbulence with any ripples in the wall of the tubing. Now taking a look at this in comparison to MBRP's other exhaust, this is going to be entry level. If you wanted to step it up a little bit, you will pay a little bit extra for the installer or Black series. If you wanted to step it up from there, you can go with the XP series. That's going to be 409 stainless. And if you're looking to drop the most amount of money for your truck, the Pro series is where you'd want to be. That's going to be your 304 stainless. Now this one is an entry level kit. It doesn't come with an exhaust tip, but that opens up some options for customizability as well. If you wanted to, you could even stick your own 3-inch diameter exhaust tip on here. Now that is reflected in price. This is going to come in at about 75 bucks cheaper than the installer and Black series. We're looking at around 225 bucks for this system. Now also included in that price tag is going to be a 1-year limited warranty from MBRP. In terms of the install, we're looking at an easy 2 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. Should only take you a couple hours to get this installed. Now, one thing I did want to touch on, if you do have the shorter wheelbase truck, you will have to do some trimming to the inlet pipe to get this to fit. That's what we're working on today. You'll see us do that in a second. If you have the longer wheelbase truck, you won't have to do that trimming, and that'll make this significantly easier. So without any further ado, let me show you how to get this on your truck. For this install, you will need a pry bar, impact, dead blow. Now all we use this for is to get a socket seated on a rusty bolt. Exhaust hanger removal tool will help tremendously. U-joint, 14mm socket, 15mm socket. PB blaster is a great help as well. Now if you plan on working on a short wheelbase truck, you will also need to cut an inlet pipe to get that to fit. If you do have to make that cut for the short wheelbase, you will need a tape measure, safety glasses, a Sharpie, and a saw. All right guys, so for the first step of our install, we're going to hit everything with a nice healthy dose of a rust penetrant. I'm going to use PB Blaster. This is going to come in great help for this flange right here, and there's 4 rubber hangers down the length of the exhaust. And to be honest, this exhaust hasn't been off of our truck in around 30,000 miles, which is what the truck has on it in total. So this will be a pretty accurate representation of what you can expect after some daily driving when you crawl under your truck. So now we can move back to this flange, and the nut on this side is welded in place. So we're going to use a 14mm socket on this bolt to slowly back it out. Again, this is pretty rusty, so we're going to take our time here. So now we're going to do the same thing for the other side, and again, this is pretty rusty over here as well, obviously, so I'm going to use a mallet to tap that socket onto the bolt. And again, go slow. This thing will be pretty hot when it pops out as well, so just let it fall to the ground. So now we can move on to these rubber hanger isolators. This one is on the front of the muffler, and this one will actually require complete removal. Reason being is it's backwards compared to the other hanger isolators. So I'm gonna get a pry bar up into this hole here, get some leverage, pop that off. Then the other exhaust hanger should go when we drop that flange and pull the exhaust forward, then we can get it straight out. and then that could actually stay on the upper one. So now our exhaust is just about ready to fall off the truck. What we're gonna do first is pull this flange apart and drop it out of the way so it will clear. Then we're going to use a pry bar to sort of pry on the muffler to release it from those hangers. Then we're gonna drop this out in one big piece. Now, if you are working on the ground, you might have to make a couple cuts to get this out from underneath the truck, but if you're on jack stands or a lift, it should be extremely easy to pull it out in one big piece. Now, if those hangers do fight you a little bit, an exhaust hanger removal tool will be extremely helpful. So with our factory exhaust off the truck, I just wanted to take a second to lay out our P-Series kit next to it and point out some of the key improvements that our new MBRP exhaust is going to make. And right off the bat, as you can see, we're ditching this big restrictive factory muffler in exchange for MBRP straight through muffler design. On top of that, we're also upping the diameter of the tubing to 3 inches. Now, as you can see, our inlet pipe is a little bit long. This kit is tuned out of the box for a 140-inch wheelbase truck. Now, if you have a 127-inch wheelbase truck, which is what we're working with today, you will have to make a cut to that, and it's gonna be around 13¼ inches off of the backside. So without any further ado, let's get our safety glasses and take that inlet pipe over to the saw and make our cut. And again, for our short wheelbase truck, that should take about 13¼ inches. So now we're back at the truck, and all we're going to do is now get that inlet pipe seated and use that original hardware to secure it. Now, just a note, this pipe does have a bend to it that is going to go upward toward the body. And then we're going to use a 14mm socket to secure that. Next, we're going to install this hanger clamp, shortly followed up by our muffler. So we're gonna leave that clamp just hand tight for now. That's gonna give us some much needed wiggle room when we near the end of the install and need some adjustment. Now, before we go and mount up our tailpipe, we're gonna remove this hanger isolator right here. Reason being is our tailpipe has 2 hangers that go opposite directions. So we're gonna remove this with an exhaust hanger removal tool and some PB blaster, get that mounted up onto our tailpipe, and then mount up our tailpipe and slide that hanger into place, right back where it was right there. We're going to feed that all the way back. That's going to give us a lot of room when we go mount this back up. Then we can hang a clamp on our muffler, feed our over axle pipe over the axle. And those hangers into the isolators. And then we're gonna move back to that hanger in the rear and push that over as well. That rear hanger should pull everything into alignment, but now is the perfect time to make any adjustments to make sure the exhaust is sitting correctly. Then we're gonna run through and tighten down the 2 clamps, one up front here and one behind the muffler with a 15mm socket. All that's left to do is lower the vehicle and check for any leaks. And that is going to do it for my review and install of the MBRP P Series single exhaust system with a side exit fitting all 16 and newer 3.5 Tacomas. Thank you for watching. I'm Joe. For more videos like this and all things Tacoma, subscribe to Extreme Terrain.